dive into some serious self-help, huh?
Sound good to me.
Today we are tackling Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life.
Oh, yeah.
It's a book that has sold over 30 million copies since it was first published.
Wow.
Back in 1984.
That's incredible staying power.
It really speaks to how much it resonated with people.
Even back then.
Even back then. And you know what? It's still relevant today.
For sure.
Hay was really onto something with her core philosophy, that our thoughts create our reality.
It's a powerful idea.
It is a powerful idea.
She believed that what we believe about ourselves, about life, about everything, actually shapes the experiences we have.
So if you're walking around thinking, I'm not good enough, guess what?
You're probably going to find yourself in situations that confirm that belief.
Exactly.
It's like our thoughts become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. Hay talks about how we learn these beliefs, these patterns of thinking early on in life.
Often, without even realizing it, we absorb the emotional environment of our childhood homes.
Wow.
Think about the messages you heard growing up, the things you saw modeled in your family.
We're not talking about blaming our parents or anything like that.
No, not at all.
Right.
It's more about understanding.
Yeah.
Hay believed that everyone does the best they can with the knowledge they have at the time.
Right. It's about recognizing those early influences and seeing how they might be playing out in our lives today.
So true.
What are some of the things you heard as a child, dear listener?
Yeah, think about that.
How might those messages be shaping your experiences now?
Yeah.
It's a powerful question to consider.
It is, because here's the thing. Those old beliefs, even if they're not serving us anymore, can keep us stuck in the past. And Hay is all about the power of the present moment.
She believed that dwelling on the past keeps us from fully experiencing the now.
Absolutely.
The point of power is always right here, right now.
And that's where real change begins. We have the ability to choose different thoughts, different beliefs in this very moment.
Okay, so that's empowering.
It is incredibly empowering.
It means we're not bound by our past.
Right.
We can create a new reality for ourselves starting right now.
Starting today.
But how do we actually do that?
Well,
Hay talks about mental house cleaning.
Oh, yeah.
It's like taking inventory of those old limiting beliefs and deciding which ones we want to keep and which ones we want to toss out.
She gives some great examples in the book.
Okay.
One that really stuck with me was the story of a woman who had this deep-seated belief that she wasn't good enough.
Okay.
It stemmed from her relationship with her father, who was a very successful businessman.
She always felt like she was striving for his approval, but never quite measuring up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this pattern carried over into her adult life, affecting her career and her relationships.
Wow.
It wasn't until she really dug deep, examined that belief, and realized it wasn't serving her anymore that she was able to start breaking free.
That's such a powerful illustration of how these unconscious beliefs can hold us back.
They really can.
And it leads us to another key concept that Hay emphasizes.
Which is?
Forgiveness. She believed that forgiveness is essential for releasing the past and moving forward.
And she's clear that forgiveness isn't about condoning someone's actions.
Right.
Or pretending what happened didn't hurt.
Right.
It's about freeing yourself from the burden of resentment.
It's about recognizing that holding on to anger and resentment only hurts you in the long run.
Yes.
It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
That's such a great analogy.
Hay offers some practical exercises for dissolving resentment, including one where you visualize the person you need to forgive as happy and surrounded by good things.
It's about shifting your energy and choosing to focus on something more positive.
And this leads us to what Hay considered the foundation of her entire approach.
Okay, I'm listening.
Loving yourself.
Of course.
She believed that loving and approving of ourselves is absolutely essential for creating positive change.
It's about recognizing our inherent worthiness.
Yes.
Regardless of our past mistakes or perceived flaws.
Exactly.
And one of the most famous techniques she introduced is the mirror exercise.
The mirror exercise.
Have you ever tried it?
Oh, yes. Looking into your own eyes in the mirror and saying, I love you. It sounds simple, but it can be incredibly challenging.
It can be, but it's also incredibly powerful.
It is.
Because it forces us to confront our self-talk and start to shift those negative patterns.
So for our listener, I encourage you to try it.
Yes, try it.
Look into your own eyes and say those 3 little words. I love you.
Just notice how it feels.
Yeah, notice how it feels.
Does it bring up resistance?
Does it?
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's a sign that there's some deep work to be done.
Now, all of this sounds great in theory, but we all know that change can be difficult, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hay dedicates a whole chapter to resistance.
A whole chapter.
Yeah.
Resistance is real.
I know. And this is where it gets really relatable. We all have our ways of resisting change, even when we know it's for the best.
But she outlines all the different forms resistance can take.
Oh, like
denial, fear, procrastination.
and delaying tactics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll start on Mondays, or I just need to do X, Y, and Z first, and then I'll be ready.
Oh, we've all been there.
We've all been there. It's our mind's way of protecting us from the discomfort of change.
But here's the key. Recognizing our own patterns of resistance is the first step toward overcoming them.
So, dear listener, what are your common ways of resisting change?
Take a moment to think about it.
Take a moment.
What are those little tricks your mind plays on you to keep you stuck in your comfort zone?
That's a great question to ponder. Well, we've laid the groundwork with Hay's core philosophy.
Right.
Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the practical stuff you can actually start using in your life.
Ah, the good stuff.
Yeah, Hay really emphasized that it's not enough to just read about these ideas.
Yep.
You have to put them into practice.
I gotta do the work.
And one of the most fundamental techniques she talks about is affirmations.
Affirmations, yeah.
You know, those positive statements you repeat to yourself to reprogram your subconscious mind. You're consciously choosing the thoughts you want to cultivate.
Exactly.
Instead of letting those old negative beliefs run on autopilot, you're taking control.
You're in the driver's seat.
Hay gives lots of examples in the book, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
Do you have any go-to affirmations that you find helpful in your own life?
Oh, absolutely. One that I come back to again and again is,
Okay.
all is well in my world.
All is well.
It's so simple,
Yeah,
but it helps me shift my perspective, especially when I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed.
I love that. It's a great reminder that even when things feel chaotic on the surface, there's an underlying order and peace.
Exactly. Another one that I find really helpful is,
Ooh, what is it?
I am open and receptive to all the good that the universe has to offer.
Okay, that's great.
It helps me cultivate a sense of abundance and trust.
Beautiful. It's about shifting from a scarcity mindset to one of possibility.
Yes. Now, in addition to affirmations, Hay also talks about the power of visualization.
Ah, yes. This is where you really tap into your imagination.
Let your mind wander.
It's not just about wishing or hoping for something. It's about creating a vivid mental picture, almost as if it's already happening.
Right. And the idea is that by vividly imagining and feeling the desired outcome, you're sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind.
Wow.
And you're more likely to attract those experiences into your reality.
It's like creating a blueprint for the universe to follow.
Hay suggests all sorts of visualizations.
Like what?
Like imagining yourself surrounded by a white light of protection.
Oh,
Or seeing yourself achieving a specific goal.
and then there's mirror work, which we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
It sounds simple enough, just looking at yourself in the mirror and talking to yourself.
Yeah.
But a lot of people find it surprisingly challenging.
I can see that.
And that's often a sign that there's some deep work to be done.
Right.
You see, most of us have this inner critic
Oh, yeah.
that's constantly chattering away in our minds.
Always telling us we're not good enough.
Not smart enough.
Not worthy enough.
It's that negative self-talk that can really sabotage our efforts to create positive change.
It really can.
Exactly. And mirror work is a way to confront that inner critic and start to shift those negative patterns.
You're looking right at it.
By looking into your own eyes and speaking kindly and lovingly to yourself. You're starting to reprogram your subconscious mind with new, more empowering beliefs.
It's like building a new relationship with yourself.
One based on love and acceptance.
Hay recommends using affirmations in mirror work, too.
So, for example,
You might look into your eyes and say, I love you, I approve of you, and I accept you exactly as you are.
it's a powerful practice for cultivating self-love and self-compassion.
And, you know,
Really?
Hay encourages people to use the mirror not just for affirmations, but for self-reflection in general.
Oh, how so?
She suggests that if you're feeling down or frustrated, you can look in the mirror and ask yourself,
Okay.
what's going on? What am I feeling? What do I need right now?
It's like having a compassionate conversation with yourself.
Exactly. Sometimes just acknowledging those feelings and giving yourself permission to feel them can be incredibly healing.
Now, Hay emphasizes that this kind of inner work is an ongoing process.
It's a lifelong journey.
It's not about achieving some perfect state of positivity.
Right.
It's about showing up for yourself each day and making conscious choices that align with the reality you want to create.
She talks a lot about the importance of understanding resistance.
We've all got it. It's that part of us that wants to stay in our comfort zone, even when we know change is for the best.
It's like our minds are wired for familiarity.
Yeah.
So even when we consciously desire something new,
Right.
our subconscious might be throwing up all sorts of roadblocks.
It's so true. We all have our own unique ways of avoiding things that feel challenging or uncomfortable.
And then there's the pattern of repeating the same negative patterns
Yeah.
in relationships or careers.
Attracting the same type of partner or boss,
Mm-hmm.
even when you consciously want something different.
It's like that definition of insanity.
What is it?
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Oh, yeah. Hay suggests that this is often a sign of deep-seated beliefs and fears that need to be addressed.
So how do we break free from these patterns of resistance?
What are some practical steps we can take?
The first step is awareness.
Go.
Noticing those patterns in your own life without judgment.
Becoming curious about your own behavior and asking yourself,
Why am I doing this?
yeah,
What's the underlying fear or belief that's driving this behavior?
it's like becoming a detective of your own mind.
Exactly. And once you've brought awareness to those patterns, you can start to challenge them.
How do we do that?
Ask yourself, is this belief really true? Does it still serve me?
And if the answer is no,
You can choose to let it go.
Hay suggests using affirmations and visualizations to create new, more empowering beliefs.
So, for example,
If you're resisting starting a new project because you're afraid of failure, you might start repeating the affirmation,
what is it?
I am capable and successful in all that I do.
What?
Or if you're resisting going for a promotion because you don't feel worthy, you might visualize yourself confidently stepping into that new role and excelling.
You've got to see it to believe it.
It's all about using the power of your mind to create the reality you desire.
But remember, resistance is natural.
Okay.
It's part of being human.
It's not a sign that you're doing something wrong.
It's just a signal that you're stretching yourself, growing, moving outside your comfort zone.
Exactly. And the key is to approach resistance with self-compassion rather than self-criticism,
Be patient with yourself. Celebrate your progress.
no matter how small.
Change takes time and effort.
It's rarely a linear process.
There will be ups and downs, setbacks, and breakthroughs.
The key is to keep going,
Mhm.
to keep showing up for yourself.
And to trust that you have the power within you to create the life you love.
Now, speaking of creating a life you love,
Okay.
Hay dedicates a whole chapter to building the new.
Oh, I like
It's
this.
all about possibilities and potential.
It's exciting. Once you've started to clear out those old limiting beliefs,
Yeah.
you can really focus on what you want to create in your life.
And that's where affirmations and visualizations become super powerful.
You use them to set intentions, clarify your goals, and start attracting those experiences into your reality.
Hay also stresses the importance of taking action.
Yes, action is key.
Affirmations and visualizations are great, but you have to back them up with aligned action.
It's about taking those inspired steps that will move you closer to your goals.
And one of the things I appreciate about Hay's approach is that she encourages people to experiment and find what works best for them.
She does. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
She suggests exploring all sorts of modalities.
Right?
Meditation, yoga, journaling, creative expression.
There's something for everyone.
The key is to find the practices that feel nourishing and supportive for you.
Exactly. And to create a daily routine that helps you stay connected to your inner wisdom and power.
Hay also offers insights into specific areas of life, like relationships, work, and prosperity.
So like real-world applications.
Yes. Her thoughts on relationships are particularly powerful.
In what way?
She emphasizes that our relationships are a mirror,
Interesting.
reflecting back to us our own beliefs about ourselves.
So true. If you're constantly attracting partners who are critical or unsupportive,
Yeah.
it might be a sign that you need to work on your own self-love and self-worth.
It's about recognizing that we teach people how to treat us by how we treat ourselves.
And if you want to attract loving and supportive relationships, you need to start by cultivating those qualities within yourself.
When it comes to work, Hay challenges us to see our jobs not just as a means to an end, but as opportunities for growth and fulfillment.
She encourages us to find work that aligns with our passions and purpose.
Right. And even if you're not in your dream job yet,
It happens.
she suggests finding ways to make your current work more enjoyable and meaningful.
It's about shifting your perspective and focusing on the positive aspects.
And, her insights into prosperity are so relevant today.
They are.
With so much uncertainty and financial stress in the world, it's easy to get caught in a scarcity mindset.
It is. But Hay reminds us that abundance is our birthright
I like that.
and that we can create financial well-being by shifting our beliefs and attitudes about money.
She talks about the importance of generosity and gratitude.
Right?
and encourages us to see money as a tool we can use to create positive change in the world.
Now, one of the most interesting and perhaps controversial aspects of You Can Heal Your Life is Hay's List.
Ah, yes, the list. That detailed list that correlates specific physical ailments with probable mental patterns.
It's important to approach this information with discernment.
Of course.
And to consult with qualified healthcare professionals for any health concerns.
Absolutely. But I do think the list can be a valuable starting point for self-reflection.
In what way?
It can prompt you to explore the potential emotional and mental patterns that might be contributing to your physical experiences.
And it can empower you to take a more proactive role in your own healing journey.
I want to touch on one more thing that I found particularly impactful.
What's that?
Hay's personal story.
Oh, yes. It's incredibly inspiring.
She really opens up about her difficult childhood.
Yeah.
Her struggles with abuse and poverty, and her eventual journey of self-discovery and healing.
It's a powerful reminder that no matter what you faced in the past, you have the power to choose a different path and to create a life filled with joy, love, and abundance.
Her story is a testament to the transformative power of self-love and forgiveness.
It's proof that you can heal your life. It's amazing to think that this book was published over 40 years ago.
I know.
And yet, its message is still so powerful and relevant today.
It really is. Why do you think this book has resonated with so many people for so long?
Well, I think it's because Hay's message taps into something universal.
A deep longing for healing and wholeness. It's a timeless message of empowerment, reminding us that we have the power to shape our own realities.
We're not broken.
Right.
We're not victims of circumstance.
We are powerful creators.
And we have the ability to change our lives by changing our thinking.
Exactly. And I think Hay's writing style is a big part of its appeal, too.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so clear, compassionate, and accessible.
Yeah.
It feels like she's speaking directly to you, offering guidance and support like a wise and loving friend.
Yeah, it's definitely not your typical preachy self-help book.
No, not at all.
One of the most important takeaways for our listener is that healing is a journey, not a destination.
So important to remember.
It's not about reaching some perfect state of being, where you never experience negative emotions or challenges again. It's about showing up each day, being willing to look at those old patterns and beliefs that might be holding you back, and having the courage to choose something different. It's in those moments of choice, those moments of willingness to change,
that the real transformation happens.
That's where the magic is.
And Hay gives you so many practical tools to support you along the way.
She does. And one of the most powerful tools, in my opinion, is her emphasis on self-love.
Self-love, yeah.
But she also talks about the importance of loving and accepting others.
Okay.
How do you see those two concepts, self-love and love for others, connecting?
Well, it's like a mirror, isn't it? When you can look at yourself with love and acceptance, embrace your imperfections, forgive your past mistakes.
You naturally start radiating that energy outwards.
And when you can see the good in yourself,
it
becomes easier to see the good in others.
So true.
You're less likely to judge.
Less likely to hold on to resentment.
More likely to approach relationships with compassion and understanding.
It creates a ripple effect of love and kindness.
So for you, dear listener, we want to leave you with this question. How can cultivating more self-love and compassion help you create more loving and harmonious relationships in your own life?
That's a good one.
It's something to ponder.
It is.
And remember, as Louise Hay reminds us, you have the power to heal your life.
That's the takeaway.
And it all starts with choosing to love and accept yourself exactly as you are.
Thanks for joining us for the...
We'll see you next time.